Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to PlateUp, Learning the Basics Tutorial, Food Card Edition. In today's video, we're going to be talking about burgers, what the cards do, what they give, how you go about making a burger, and some tips and tricks how you could also make burgers a bit easier for yourself. So the burger card adds burgers as a main, 30% more customers because that's your main card. Most of them all have that. Basically, you're using these are what you consider frozen patties. So you take a patty out of your hamburger refrigerator, you put it on any sort of cooking device, whether that be your starter hobs, regular hob, safety or danger hob, microwave oven, or the heated mixer. I don't recommend the heated mixer because it is quite slow, but it is a cooking surface which you could use if you have one. And then it turns from that red color to a brown color. You then pick it up and grab it and put it on a bun. Alternatively, you could have the bun in your hand already and touch it on top of the cooking surface to put the burger in the bun in one movement. You put it on a plate and you serve it. Now, the tip there is you could have the bun and the plate in your hand already. When the burger is finished, you interact with it. You put the burger into the bun, you pick it up and you serve it. One of the extra cards that you can get is burger toppings. Adds chopped tomato and onion as burger toppings. This one gives you a reduction of 15% of your customers, which can be helpful if you're struggling with the amount of customers you're having into your restaurant. This is pretty simple. You pick up an onion and tomato, you put it on a counter or any other sort of chopping surface, which is a counter, a workstation. You could use the sharp knife, which chops things very quickly, or you could use a mixer, which also does the chop function. Now, one tip with this is if you only want to make sure you chop tomatoes one time. If you chop them and you interact with them twice, it'll turn into sauce, which then has to be tossed. Again, you pick them up, you interact with them on the burger. You see the icon on the right-hand side with the toppings on it, and then you give it to the customer. The next card is fresh patties. Now, fresh patties is a harder card to get with burgers because of the fact that you have two extra actions. It does drop your groups by 15%, which again can be good if you're struggling with group amounts. You have too many. So instead of having your burger freezer now, you now have a meat freezer or meat fridge. You pick the meat out, which is actually the steak icon. You chop it into pieces. You then also grab an egg and you chop it on any sort of chopping surface, including a mixer. Mixers can be used for making the fresh meat as well as the eggs. Just keep that in mind. You can automate those with mixers. You then grab the egg, combine it with the meat. It turns into the frozen patty icon. You then cook it using any of the cooking devices I listed in the beginning segment, and then you plate it with a bun and you serve it. Cheeseburgers is the other card that you could get, and add chopped cheese to burgers, everyone's favorite. Again, reduction of 15% of your customers is a good card to take if you're having issues with customers. This is pretty simple. You grab the cheese from the cheese wheel, you put it on any sort of cutting surface. You then chop it. Again, you could use a mixer as well, or the workstation, or a sharp knife, which will help increase or partially automate using the mixer chopping of the cheese. You grab the cheese, you put it on the finished burger, and then you have it on a plate, of course, and then you serve it. Then we're back to the main page. Now, the tip I give you with burgers are very easy to automate, especially the frozen burgers. If you have a safety hob, or even as something as simple as a danger hob, one grabber, and a prep station, you could easily hand feed frozen patties into a danger hob, which cooks super fast with burgers. The grabber will grab them and put them right into a prep station. You could step that up a bit by having two grabbers, a safety hob. So you go from your meat fridge to a grabber, to a safety hob, to a grabber, to a prep station. So automate the actual cooking. You could step it up one way further by using a combiner and another grabber and the burger rolls. And you have the combiner with a roll on it facing into the hob or onto the conveyor belt to fully automate the burgers. Because a cooked burger on a roll now will fit into a prep station. So it's quite handy to automate that. You don't need a lot of grabbers, and you can start partially automating burgers very early in your run if that's something that you're shooting for. I want to thank you guys for watching, and please stay tuned for another PlateUp Learning the Basics Food Card tutorial. Take care now.